Dava, would you say that was, in terms of like great defence and then attacking lethally from transition and just from chaos, was like the sort of like video we can send to somebody saying this is Storm is rigged?
100% right. That's like we imposed our game model properly. I think they could have obviously got a couple of points on us at the start there, but as you say, we had to defend, and then what we got really right today was the transitions and denting up the middle before going wide rather than trying to be too lateral, and that's what we always want to do. So I think it was exactly what we were after.
Yes, Martin.
Coach, that was a great performance, but we get a feeling there's a couple of more years to go through, and I think there's probably a bigger win coming for the Stormers team.
I hope so. I don't think we were perfect. They dropped one ball with an open line, but we probably also butchered quite a few. I think it's not hard to work out that we got some big personnel that have come back. So while we're getting a hard time, and when it was in Durban, where I thought we actually could have won the game, Toulon, where we just down the field, we probably won. People were very, but no, it's not coincidence that this man comes back, and Evan Roos comes back, and Dion Ferry comes back, and Salmaan Moerat comes back. Starting to get these sort of performances. I would agree. I mean, no, there's room for it. There's definitely room for improvement. I mean, sorry, for example, like the scrum. To give away that amount of scrum penalties, not who we are. So.
I mean, nobody said room for improvement, but 14-0 against.
I don't mean it.
World-class players. I mean.
No. Fair point, Steve. But I think the question mark was like, if we got another gear, of course we would say that. Yeah, I think that scrum we were under pressure for a while there. So. Yeah, that is it's a special win.
You must feel you've seen everything in France from every against the
yeah, well, you've got. I must be careful now because I don't want to cause somebody to stop refereeing. You know what I mean? Or maybe I do. I think the AR on this side. It may not have played front row, I don't think so. It's got the world's best tighted sin bin in a half as an achievement. Yeah. No, please.
Just for some on that on the scrums, the coach of the Sharks said it was as easy as just the loose end staying straight, and then they got France with the button. Just your thoughts on that statement?
Yeah, look, I think a lot of credit needs to go to them. They are outstanding pack of forwards, and they pride themselves on their set piece. And look, for large parts of that first half, I'd say they put us under a lot of pressure. But also, it's not our style and our character to give so many scrum penalties away, and we'll definitely have a look at that. Yeah.
Cool. Sorry guys, Mabin has had a question for a while.
I just want to ask how we actually going to start. 3 wins out of 3, but you must be very happy with the momentum you built up over the last 3 summer seasons. From where you were.
No, it's right. It's a summer series, eh? Yeah. Yeah, very happy. Can't complain about the. We get 5 in each. Did we get 5 in each line?
Yes.
15 points within that. Very good. I knew once the personnel came back and it would be good for us. I think we must keep perspective where we are with the competitions. We've won from 3 in the Champions Cup, and you've got to think what next week could spit out. You know what I mean? What comes after next week or what next week looks like, because our day job is very much the URC. So I don't want to think this is euphoria or season crowning. It's a different tournament, and so we have to be. Yeah, we won from 3 in this tournament, and so we have to be careful about being overexcited.
Moon, well done on the victory. I think the discipline on attack, because in the past there was a lot of opportunities created, but then it just didn't happen like that. You sailed today. Just the discipline on attack. How do you feel on the pitch?
I think in the first half there was a couple of opportunities we let go. I think there was once where I had the line break and I couldn't quite get away, and I just threw the no look pass, which is not what we want or need at that stage. And I think we can be a bit more disciplined on attack. But also within saying that, our transition was really on fire today, and our back 3 needs a lot of that credit. Just the way they orchestrated that and the way we ran it from the back. But look, like Dobson said, there's always room for improvement. Yeah.
Just Dobson, in terms of people see Warwick on the pitch.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've seen it today. We spoke about it the last couple of weeks. but what does it bring off the pitch? The IQ, because
Yeah.
nobody touches on that.
Yeah.
A lot of people just see and flashy stuff and it's happening, but bringing to the squad, I mean, you brought him back for a reason, people questioned it, let's be honest, and now seeing that, just off the pitch, like what does it bring to the team, the rugby and the player IQ?
Yeah, I'm pleased you bring that up, Jess, because people got to know, you know, like if I 10 rand for every SMS, what are you going to, or WhatsApp? This was an old for Marnie's place kicking and Warwick's loose play, you know, I'd get Warwick. And you're right, his actually biggest contribution is his rugby brain, he's off the field. I mean, it might still be, he made the most steals, he drives the game plan. That stuff that the flash stuff that not you, because you see more, people see is the top of the icing. He's such a good rugby brain. He's so invested. Nobody puts their body on the line like Warwick does. Everything he does, he's a special player and person. I'm pleased he's starting to sort of get appreciated. So competitive, isn't he? Can't speak highly enough about the boogeyman.
And just from your perspective, because now you're captain, you're a leader, you have guys driving the team. Yeah, it's green and it's flashy, but what goes into that? Because people don't understand there's a lot of work off the pitch that brings it. Just for you having a guy like that around you.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to repeat what Dobson said, but his IQ is unbelievable. Just the way he sees the game, I think sometimes he's 2 or 3 steps ahead of everything and everyone else. His calmness that he brings, whenever he speaks sense. It's never pointless. He's an outstanding rugby player. Him, along with Mani, their cohesion has been outstanding, and hopefully it can carry on for many more years. Okay.
When you say your danger is the URCs, can you assume that you will be putting some guys in Cockatoo for the game?
Look, Steve, I don't want to sit here and lie to you guys or not. We'll go for it. We have to go for next week. There's not one game we won't. But we might have a look at 1 or 2 guys, because the next week the reality is we're playing against in Dublin. It's the week before the start of the Six Nations. And we'll have to look at some guys who maybe gone through the whole summer series with high loads. But there's no doubt when we're on the field next week at La Défense, we'll be going for it. I mean, no question. Something, either playing for a Challenge Cup, or I don't know what the other result is tonight. We're playing for a place in the last 16. We pride ourselves at every competition as a group we've been in. We've made the playoffs, and we'll be absolutely determined. So it certainly won't be like a state. Also, we haven't got the budget to fly 46 guys. You know what I mean? It'll be 28 guys travelling. So maybe there are 4 or 5 manipulations. But I think if you look at some of today's manipulations, Johnny Roche, Wandisile, Stefan Ungra, nobody let us down. What we think of. That's what's remarkable about feeling this project getting. The thing that, to me, long answer, Steve. The 2 things that. Remarkable. Out there wasn't, Sibella Sonata, Leo Lanzas, Sasha Feinberg, Zomna, Damien Willemse, Dan Duplessis. We still did that, and that means that the project's growing. And I think what gives me great pride is that, people got paid on the 15th of December. It's a very long month. You have to go to the beach, to go on holiday, all that to come to the summer series games, buy presents for those who celebrate Christmas. And then it's a month since you go and come in 30-odd thousand. Makes us so proud of the project that we try to do to connect with Cape Town, the city, and all its people. That's probably the 2 big takeaways from here today.
Although, someone that's been unfortunate with Dan and Juan's combination.
Oh, really? Another one, yeah.
Is Wandi. I mean, tonight he just showed his class again. Does that give you, if we say Afrikaans soft or nothing, just to think about,
very much
maybe
so.
I should play more, maybe this season?
Yeah, very much so. It's good. He put his hand up, and now we're going to have the meeting. I could have been home by 8:30, but there's going to be a longer meeting than we thought, choosing the touring team. No, he did really well like that. Sully also is desperate, and he was brilliant tonight. Salmaan Moerat, I thought that's probably his best game for the Stormers. He also wants to play 13. Yeah, so I say the project just feels like I've got a couple more options that we didn't. It is food for thought. One year's magic.
Okay.
You talk about the returning cavalry and all that. How much, how sort of fortunate in a way are you that you could actually play somebody like Johnny Roach today, and you didn't have to use him, for instance, starting against Toulon or whatever? Because this is a game where you've got people like Salmaan back and everything. So when you bring a young guy in, surely it is much easier to do it in a settled team like that, man.
Definitely, that's actually a couple of lessons. I think one of the advantages we got in the English teams, maybe the French teams, they don't travel like we travel now. This is a big thing for Sale. We're only playing on Monday or Tuesday. But that's actually a lesson I've learned. If you're going to go statement, let's say, which we didn't obviously today, statement B team, those guys get, like we happened to us at Harlequins, if you know what I mean, and then the confidence of the group's knocked, and there's a meeting the next week, and we're giving a hard time to players. People upstairs want to know what's going on, and this is a much better sort of mix of 4 or 5. To me, seems a much, and that might be the case next week in Paris. I agree with you, because Johnny's got Marnie Lebok. Okay, Wendy's also been an experienced player. Got Warwick Holland, as Moon said, drives the game incredibly, so it makes it easy to be a 12. So that was good.
Salmaan, talking about driving the game, you came in for a bit of crack as captain, to be honest.
For what?
I don't know, that's just the ugly
I'm teasing you, man. No, carry on, sorry. I'm teasing, honey, I didn't answer your question. Sorry.
Yeah, just coming through this game and just showing what you can do. Just,
Look, obviously I can learn a lot. I'm still a very young, I consider myself as a very young captain. But to have players like Warwick, Dion Fourie is unbelievable. His support, the messaging he gives during the week. To be honest with you, it makes your job so much easier. Half the time I don't need to speak. Those guys speak, they get the message across. I basically just need to deal with it. It looks like I'm managing the team, but there's so many other guys that are contributing so much to it.
Cool, Chappie.
I just add on what Kevin said on Johnny, it was his debut. So
Playing against Harlequins.
Because we came on off the bench, Harlequins.
Yeah. And so just in terms of the magnitude, because you spoke about him very confidently, and you said a guy like this was, a lot of times as a coach, you say something, people like, yeah, but obviously it didn't happen, etc. But as a coach saying it, and I mean, now you can look at it, so the stuff that you saw actually makes sense. And I mean, he was very physical.
Absolutely.
He was very physical.
Absolutely.
I mean, for a young boy, this is Sale Sharks. They're doing well in the Premier. So this is not a local team that you're playing. So just in terms of that, for other guys as well, like when you speak about it and the confidence coming from you, it helps.
Yeah, he was playing Varsity Cup in April.
Sure.
We weren't sure, he was uncontracted. He'd been contracted as under 20 and under 21. Off contract, we didn't. I mean, that's also, I can't sit here and claim it that I'm Doc Craven because we didn't contract him last year. But he's growing in front of our eyes. You're right, James. Physical, direct, old school, competitive. Like every breakdown, every collision, but a smile on his face. I think we're going to see a really, really, really good future for Johnny.
Just on that as well. When you spoke about the youngsters and that golden generation.
Yes.
When you see guys like Ivan Fuller and Ibai Khan.
That is the generation. So a lot of them come through. If you think of that team that won it last year with Sasha, Paul de Vries is playing for us now. Werner Matonga is going to be special. Corné Welbach, great generation. Johnny Roche, you'll see Josh Bull. I think he's still under 21. Devon Fuller was writing matric this time last year, so he's very much in the mix. He's played for it, but I mean, let's be realistic. He was writing matric. Iman Khan is a guy we're going to push hard now. There'll be some changes in the scrum half roster next year, which Mike will let you know in due course. And that's going to be a massive opportunity for Emmy because I've watched that guy since school and I think he's special. So what we've done with Emmy is taken him out of rugby a little bit just to get his body ready for URC in this level. You can see the size of his nines here and everything like that. And that was perhaps one criticism of his game. So it's brilliant. We're going to have a brilliant mix, a young Tyro like Emmy and there's a guy like Asad Moos coming through. So I'm speaking completely obvious stuff. Once we get everything aligned in this province, to keep the schoolboys and back them when we start winning it's an easy place. The talent here is remarkable. We just got to coach and manage it properly. So that generation, we knew last year will probably be our future, and it's starting to show, I think.
But just curious about Sasha. I know Rito, there was sort of yesterday, he was really full clarity, but Sasha and David Williams, I know he's coming back.
Sasha was 4 to 6. We weekend, so maybe another 3 or 4 weeks, 3 to 5. It's a painful injury, those clavicles. They're sore, but it's not an operation. So, he'll be back for 1, 2, or 3 of the local derbies. Doc says Christmas if he's back for the Bulls at home, so I wouldn't rely on that. So probably somewhere in between. And then Damien, I think's late March. So, but he's starting to run now. Dan Dup, another 3 or 4 weeks. He's coming back. Lionel's coming back in 3 or 4 weeks. Connor's about another 6 weeks. So Ruan will be back next week. Sabella will be back next week. Zassi will be back next week. So to do this without those guys, it's a nice feeling.
Topper, it's going to become tricky over the next week or two if you are keeping guys back here, sending another squad over. Will that squad come back to train here? Or
No, we're not, probably to Gavin's question and to what I said about earlier about our budget. We're going on tour with one team, 28 guys, and we choose 15. So I mean, it's not.
so you're not splitting
No. And then, look, I think there are a couple of. We still are playing. I know it's been very, very tough, but we're still playing for a place in the Challenge Cup. We're certainly playing for a place in the Challenge Cup. As I said, we've made a playoff in every tournament. Sorry?
Challenge Cup? Oh, if you come,
come fifth, you go automatically in the last 16 in the Challenge Cup. So I wouldn't have been, and also I think there's been enough, we're luckily part of the Champions Cup. If we send B teams twice, we haven't done it before. The 3 years, that December game's a tricky one. The one because Harlequins and Leicester the year before we did that. No, we'll take one squad onto this and Leinster, but I say probably that 4 or 5 discussion that we had, for racing.
So on the teams on ground, our first 2 derby victories, really put sail away. There's a big thing about character in this scenario because, if you're under pressure and no matter how many injuries there are, people still sort of expect you to produce. I know it's very difficult because honestly, what can you do? But do you think there's something about the character of the team, something special there, and do you think it could almost be momentum to keep on?
Yeah, I think in terms of character, I think it's definitely one of our identities and something we really pride ourselves on. We never really if you look at the past couple of years, we never really had a great start in the URC in particular, but we always seem to find our way back into the competition. And in games when, if I think back to the first season, the game against Ulster back home, we were down and out and we managed to pull that game through. And there were many other games like that. I think there's great heart in this team, and really that's something that we need to hold on to and not let go of, and surely we can push on from now. I mean, with the 2 home derbies we had, those were great results for us, and especially this win now, this should give us a lot of confidence, and we're really excited for what's to come.
Robert, do you think you're going to get Leinster at full strength?
I doubt it because I think they'll be in Portugal, if I read somewhere, but it's a week before Six Nations. I don't think we've never played them at we were the draw at the RDS 2 years ago. Remember that at 26 all. So I mean, Leinster B is the team that got them to the final, or A, whatever you want to call it. It's got them through so much. So it's a big game for us, but it's a winnable game. That's a game we want to go for. It's in the Viva. Should be a nice occasion.
Yeah, cool, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we question that.
Oh, sorry, yeah. John.
Racing coming up next in the Champions Cup. Former player Chibudan Mani can make an appearance. We know what he's capable of for scores, we've seen it. How do you contain a guy with so much unpredictability?
The question for Salmaan. No, he's got X factor and speed. You can't buy speed on a 4G at La Défense. Chooks is going to be on our to-do list. He competes well in the lineouts. We know him well. And also Lee Marvin.
Yeah. Maybe it's a stop.
But it's he's a threat on that surface. You did right.
Cool.
Thanks, Paul.
guys.
Thank you.
You had 9 years ago that question, eh?
Yeah, stitch them up.
Do as I say.
Oh no.
Yeah.